Hi, today I'm going to share with you my current Oracle deck collection. So I do have an entire video. I actually have two videos on one of my Oracle and Tarot collection, which is from back in April, I believe. And then last month I did a video on how I store my Tarot and Oracle decks. But since then, I have grown my Oracle collection to be quite a bit more than I believe what I have shown previously. So here's just all the Oracle decks that I currently own. And since last Monday, I think 2 days ago, I did my face review. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down and show you my Oracle decks. So this one is the only Oracle deck that I keep in one of my homemade bags. And this is the Black Moon Astrology deck. And it's also one that I modded. So if you want to see either a flip through or the video where I modded this, then I'll link those in the description box below. But yeah, this is my Black Moon Astrology Oracle deck. This is the first Oracle deck that I got. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do all of this in order, but I do know that this is the first one that I got. So I really wanted an Oracle deck about astrology because astrology is basically the reason that I even got into tarot. So I thought it would be a great idea to have an astrology deck to pull from my astrology knowledge, as far as I have that, into my readings. So this is what the cards look like. They originally come with a white border, but I didn't really like that. I thought that it distracted from the art, which isn't always intuitive to read, but I do really like that it has the number of the card, because it makes it easy to look it up in the guidebook if I feel like I need it. And then it has in this case, the fifth house, so the name of the house or the planet or the whatever, and then a keyword. So in this case, it is fifth house creativity. I really like the size of these cards now that I have trimmed it. So I have removed the borders, and right now it is it's way easier to shuffle this deck. I do really like the cardstocks. The cards are sturdy but not too thick. And here you can see a little bit of the cardstock. I do have a flip through of this deck. It shuffles great because the cardstock is matte, but not too matte that I feel like it all sticks together. And I also didn't really like the box because it was a little bit too big now that I had trimmed it, and I just didn't like it. I prefer it in one of my homemade bags. So one of the next decks that I got was the Moonology deck, and this is actually a deck that I struggle to work with, which is why you don't see it in many of my readings. It does come with a guidebook, which is okay, I guess. It talks about, so if you, in this case, you have the card New Moon in Cancer, it has a little bit of an interpretation, then how to attune to the moon, I guess. Additional meanings for the cards with bullet points, and then the teaching of the cards. Yeah, maybe I just need to pull it out for personal readings, but right now for Oracle or for pick a card readings, I don't use it because I don't really resonate with it. Some of the cards are absolutely beautiful, but I struggle to work with this deck. So this may be one of the decks that I'm gonna remove from my collection because I just have other decks that I prefer to work with, especially since I just showed you that Black Moon Astrology deck that I do resonate with and that I do enjoy using. I don't feel like I need this deck for the astrology aspect of it. I know that this is like one of the decks that this was one of my first Oracle decks, and I know that it is one of many people's first or even only Oracle decks, and one that is recommended often, but I just personally don't really vibe with it. I do vibe with the Daily Crystal Oracle deck, and I saw this in Vanessa something. I don't want to mispronounce her last name, but in Vanessa's video, I'll link to her channel in the description box. I talk about her quite often because this is not the only Oracle deck that she made me want to buy, because I saw it being used in one of her videos, one of her pick a card videos. So this is what the cards look like. This is the back. This is very glossy, which makes it hard to shuffle, and I don't do my pick a card readings with a ring light anyway, especially because of glossy cards like this. So this is what the front of the cards look like. Let me see if I can show you even a little bit, because the cards are really white. So you have the like a picture of the crystal, then you have the name of the crystal, and then there you go. And then a little phrase to go with it. And this one is really easy to work with, in my opinion, because the little key phrase or the little phrase on the card already helps a lot with applying it to the reading, because I use my oracle cards in combination with tarot cards. I usually pull the tarot cards first and then pull from oracle decks for additional meanings. So, can you hear that music? That's my neighbor. I'm pretty sure that's my neighbor. That's really loud. These shuffle okay. They are really sticky to each other because it's such a glossy deck, or they're such glossy cards. I also really like the guidebook with it. There are a couple of cards that I don't use, so I keep those at the bottom of the box, then I put the guidebook on top, and then I put the cards that I do use on top of there. So that is the Daily Crystal Oracle deck, and this is probably one of the Oracle decks that I pull from the most often. So this is such a fun, empowering, positive deck. This is the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. Okay, what I don't like is that everything barely fits in the box. So there is this box, it has a guidebook in here and then the cards, and it barely fits in here. So I am thinking of making a bag for this, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But this is such a fun deck. So there are mermaids, witches, and princesses in this deck. Okay, I'm gonna show you up close. This is quite a matte cardstock. Let me see if it will focus. Yes. So pretty, so empowering, uplifting. I really like pulling from this deck at the end of the reading to get an empowering, positive message at the end, because sometimes tarot readings can go a little dark or pretty confronting. So I like having a deck that has very empowering messages. So yeah, I love the artwork of this deck. The cards are pretty big. This is the back of the cards. The cards are pretty big for how many, like the other oracle decks that I have. This is pretty large, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind it. The guidebook is pretty cool too. I do have an entire flip through of all of the oracle decks that I have. Yeah, except for one, but that one will be up on Sunday. So that is the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. Then another one that I've been pulling a lot lately is the Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck, because it has a lot of self-care prompts. So you can use that either when you're journaling, or you can pull cards to craft like your own self-care ritual, I guess. This is what the backs look like. I have done, let me actually see, because I post content on TikTok and I post those TikToks on Instagram as well, and I had done a week of self-care. This is like what my TikTok looks like. So there's just a bunch of card pulls. So, and those purple ones, those are the week of self-care videos that I have posted. And actually right now is Monday, and I just posted a week ahead reading with self-care messages using this deck, because I feel like this deck is great for that. Yeah, the first one is upside down because she is upside down. This is what the cards look like. I think they're so fun, and there are a lot of fun things in here. It is very female empowering, I do have to say that, but I identify as female, so this is something that I don't mind for myself. So that is kinda, and again, I do have an entire flip through of this deck on my channel if you are interested in watching that. Oh, I love this. This cardstock is matte. It shuffles really well. It's just like standard oracle size, or what I think is standard oracle size. They're pretty much the same size as the Daily Crystal and the Moonology oracle decks. So yeah, such a fun deck, and I had seen this before, but I didn't really know how to place it in my practice. But now that I have it, I actually pull from it quite a lot. So the next deck that I want to show, well, okay, so these two, they're seem to be very different, but they are also kind of similar. And I'm first going to go over this one. This is the Legendary Ladies Oracle deck. It opens like this, which is a pain to hold up because it will fall down. And this is what the cards look like. They are like very tall, but the artwork is so pretty. And these are all legendary ladies, so these are like divine feminine energy. These are goddesses, deities, legends. I don't know if there's legends in here, but definitely deities and goddesses from all around the world, from cultures all around the world. And I think that that is really great because one of my friends, she is, I think it's called Hindi or Hindu. I'm not really sure. I think it's Hindi. And there are goddesses from her religion that she saw in this deck, which she really enjoyed seeing things from her own culture represented in an oracle deck, especially with art as beautiful as this. I would love to have like a portrait made out of me with this art style. I do have to say that the guidebook isn't great. There is not a lot of information per card about the goddess, but that is because there is another book that is also named Legendary Ladies that goes with this, and that tells more of the story or the legend or just story behind a certain goddess or deity. So I don't like that you have to purchase like a separate book with this if you want to get deeper meanings, and that is where this one comes in and why I prefer this one. Even though I prefer the artwork of this one is just so much easier to work with because on the cards, and the box is horrible because it's a glossy box and it sticks to each other. So this is what the cards of the Keepers of the Light Oracle look like. This one is glossy, so again, really hard with my ring light, but this is what the cards look like. And you have the artwork, which is like portrait style, like direct on, I guess. And then you have the name of the, let me actually see. Then you have the name of the deity or the light keeper, the keeper of the light. You have a key phrase, and then you have or keywords, I guess, and then you have a little bit more of a message, which makes it really easy to read with this because it has a small little message on the card for you right there, and that is something that the Legendary Ladies does not have. And reading from the guidebook doesn't always help with a lot of interpretation unless you are very familiar with the story of the goddess or deity on the card. And then this one also has a guidebook that goes much more into depth. So you have the exact same information as that is on the card. Then you have about the, in this case, Celtic goddess, all about, and then you have an extended message. So there's quite a bit of information in this deck. So even though I prefer the art style of the Legendary Ladies Oracle, it's much easier to read with the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards. And I do have to say, even though I love this, this is not one that I tend to pull from very often because it's messages from almost like people, it's messages from deities, and that sometimes feels almost a little bit more personal than when I pull from the Daily Crystal deck, for instance. Next, okay, I have 3 more decks to go. I want to talk about the Everyday Witch Oracle deck. When I first got this deck was when I got it from Wish, which I don't purchase from anymore. So that was a fake deck and the cards were a lot smaller. And then because I enjoyed the artwork so much, I decided to get the real copy because I wanted to support the artists and the creators of the deck. So these cards are pretty big. They're also glossy. They're not as glossy as some of the other cards, but they still have some gloss. They do shuffle great. So the artwork, stunning. And when I had the fake version, I felt like I was really, it was really easy to read with it, and I got a lot from the imagery, and I thought, you know what, the original version has larger cards, so it's gonna be really easy to interpret these messages, look at the imagery and everything. But then I got the guidebook with this deck because the fake version did not have the guidebook, and I got kind of overwhelmed because there's this whole system with the elements and everything, because these cards are divided into the 4 elements, just as tarot, but I am already used to reading with tarot, and I wasn't really used to reading this deck with the elements, so it was just, I'm just doing an entire flip through, aren't I? But I'm talking about it anyway. And I just found it not as intuitive or not as easy to read, and I felt like I had to use the guidebook with it. So I feel like I need to use this deck more often, maybe in my own private personal readings, so that I can really get used to using these without the guidebook, without feeling like I have to use the elements and the way that the deck was supposed to work, I guess. I just want it to work the way that I want it to work, and not the way the guidebook says it's supposed to work, if that makes sense. So that is the Everyday Witch Oracle. Then I have the Green Witch Oracle, another deck that I saw in one of Vanessa's videos. So pretty. This is what the backs look like. I don't think I showed you the backs from, oh, it's okay. I didn't show you the backs of all of these, but that's okay. So beautiful. I'm gonna put it in front of my face because otherwise it will have trouble focusing. Beautiful. This is also divided in elements, but it actually has the elemental like symbol on the card, so it's not hard to figure out which ones are connected to which element. There's, if you look closely at, let's see, where is it here? Here. This one is associated with the sign of Cancer, and it is with desire, so you can connect the keyword desire with the symbol of Earth and the zodiac sign of Cancer. You can sort of use it like that, or you can just use the keyword that is on here. So for instance, this is protection, and sometimes some cards are really easy to read, and it also depends on the reading that you pull them with. But that there is an amazing guidebook that goes with it. And the elements are divided between, let's see what they say. The elements of air is flowers, water, fruits, earth, vegetables, and fire, herbs. So it is divided in 4 elements like that. So that is the Green Witch Oracle deck. And I'm gonna have to finish up because my boyfriend is getting home from work. Then the last Oracle deck that I have is the Whispering Woods. And this one you will see in the flip through next Sunday. But this is what the cards look like. They're really small, cute Oracle cards, and you'll see an entire flip through of them on Sunday. I don't want to spoil too much. And this is what the back looks like. I haven't used these in a lot of readings yet, but if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, because I post my daily card pulls from TikTok, I post those in my Instagram Reels. But I am using these cards in combination with the White Sage Tarot deck for my daily card pulls this week. So if you are interested in seeing how I use this deck, definitely check me out on TikTok or Instagram. And those were all the Oracle decks that I own, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I would love to hear your thoughts on my collection. Is there anything in my collection that you also own? Is there anything in your collection that you think I should own? Or are there any decks that you've used from my collection that you don't really enjoy using in your practice, or that you use differently than I use them? I would love to hear anything you have to say about anything that I showed you in this video in the comments below. You can book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me on my website, ellieamethyst.com. You can find all of the links in the pinned comment and in the description box. So I want to thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more pick a card readings, tarot, oracle videos, deck flip throughs, all of that kind of stuff, subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you here, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.